What's going on, AI enthusiasts? I don't usually make these types of videos, but I absolutely had to because a new AI model had just been released and I was lucky enough to try it out for the first time. And typically I don't get the jump on any of these models, so I think this is a pretty important one. So today we have a text-to-motion model available to be used right now in Google Colab. Now, I'm not a experienced Colab user. Just started using it, maybe a month ago, roughly. But as you can see here, there's one of the motion animations of a stick figure doing a kickflip, and this is the notebook that will run it. It's pretty simple to use. If you've never used a Colab notebook before, I would just keep the default settings and just hit the play button one at a time until it gives you a little green check mark. I was even able to use this using my Android, which most notebooks I cannot run on my phone. And I'm really not going to go into much more detail on how to run the notebook since I'm not really very qualified, although it is a very simple notebook to use, and if you're going to be using one for the first time, this isn't a bad one to try out. So if you never used one before, I would just take a few minutes and watch a video on just the basics on running a Colab, and that's all you're going to need for this. So at the beginning of the video, you saw the stick figure doing a kickflip, which is the prompt I used. I'll just go over here in the red, and I'm going to erase the prompt there that I just used and put in a new prompt. Try something simple here. So I'll make the stick figure spin, and then we'll adjust the length, which is going to be the amount of time the animation has to run. Now notice I'm setting it to a value of 195. I previously tried it at 200 when I tried to make the stick figure do the hustle, and I got an error, so I want to see how high it goes. And the value of 195 seems to work, so let it run for about 8 minutes there. Then once it's finished, you'll see the little green check mark, and the stick figure animation down below will populate. Let's hit play here and let it run a couple times so you can see it in action. Normally I'd have my Google Drive mounted to the Colab notebook, but I did not in this case. It didn't prompt me to, and really didn't need it, so I'll go ahead and download it right there on the video. And I'll go ahead and run one more so you guys can see. This time I'll use the prompt diving, and since I'm curious about the length capabilities, you'll see I'm trying every value up to 200 and see what works. And looks like it's going to go ahead and stop at 196 is the highest. And since it didn't take the values of 197, 98, or 99, you'll see what happens when you get the little error message. And just try again. Hit that little green button, play button. And once the run starts, it'll go for another 8 minutes roughly, which will give you about a 9-second animation. And I'll speed right through that to not make you sit through that whole boring process. Now I will add that this notebook does give you the animations in the stick figure form. If you go to GitHub and get the code, you can get this with the full body of a person model. Now I could probably figure out how to do that, but being not very experienced, I'm just gonna leave that alone for now. So the motion animation is ready, and we'll see him dive, which turns out looks more like swimming, I would say, but close enough, I suppose. Now as this video played, I did go ahead and put up the different animations I ran outside of the video, so you can see the different stick figure movements. And while stick figures might not be very exciting, they do have a lot of opportunity for creation. So I'll just end this video by showing you some different ideas I put together just real quick with these stick figures. Initially I was going to use the frame by frames as like a skeleton to help me with placement for doing hand-drawn animation. But then it occurred to me that I'm using AI, so I should stick with AI, and using the Deform notebook video input, I was able to have stable AI make the animations for me. And just for a little extra touch, I threw in a little bit of style transfer just to give a little bit more character. But that's going to be it for this video. Let me know in the comments what you think, what you might do with this technology, if it's good, if it's bad, and if I should keep making videos like this or stick to just learning the notebooks. Thanks, guys.